Welcome back to 200 days on 1 block Minecraft in hardcore mode. Alright, that's all I have to say. Enjoy the video. Oh wait, hold on. If you guys haven't seen my last video and you guys really want to meet my girlfriend, aka the cow, go check it out in the first link below. I got my girlfriend to beat Minecraft and it was pretty hilarious. But go check out that video after watching this one. Go grab yourself some snacks and I hope you guys enjoyed 200 days on 1 block. On day 101, the first thing I noticed was a spider standing on top of my bamboo. This guy think he owns the island or something. But then he heard me talking smack and disappeared. But anyways, I ran around saying hello to all of my animals. Like this donkey standing on top of this diving board 3 feet away from death. I would try to save him, but that requires effort. I then said hello to 2 of my dogs, Jimmy and the other one is Butler. I'm just kidding. I don't even know what I named them. I forgot. I said what's good to my parrots. I also had to make my polar bears bust it down real quick, like they're in the club. I also said hi to my girlfriend. I then spent the rest of the entire day figuring out what to do on these 200 days on 1 block. After some hard creative thinking, I decided to start off by mining. I know guys, I'm not that creative. But since the end portal spawned, it destroyed the platform. So I couldn't even get anything done and I had to fix it. So I spent day 102 to 105 fixing up the end portal. I made a little room with some walls, talking about creativity. And once it was all fixed up, I went right back to mining. But obviously with my luck, I had to get a monster party to begin the video. I was pretty scared. I had my bow loaded up right away. And of course, these flying gorillas spawned. These are literally my most feared mobs. I just ran for my life while simultaneously trying to turn around and shoot them with arrows. And I was kind of panicking. My aim was pretty bad, but I ended up killing them all. Whew, that's pretty stressful. Then I went right back to mining my life away. After I was done mining on day 106, I decided to harvest my farm. I then realized how unsymmetrical my farm is. It was kind of bothering me, and I'm sure it was bothering some of you guys. So I had to do what was right and fix it to make it symmetrical on both sides. So I tore down my sugarcane farm, recreated the Niagara Falls off of my island, and replaced the farm with dirt for the carrots and wheat. And making things symmetrical on both sides on Minecraft is pretty tough. I had to run back and forth over and over again to make sure it was right. But once I think I got it right, I started hoeing the dirt. And this is the first out of many times that I got attacked by phantoms. Am I the only one who hates these things? I want to know whose idea was to add this to Minecraft because I want them fired. I'm just kidding. I then planted my carrots and wheat. And just like that, the farm is completely symmetrical. At least I think it is. And after renovating my farm and realizing how much better my island looked, I decided it was time to renovate the animal farm. These guys have been stuck in the trenches for way too long, so I wanted to make them a separate pen over here. I then started working on the platform where their new home will be. This is what I got so far. I mean, it's not a huge improvement from their trenches, but at least they won't be living in a hole anymore. Now it was time to move the cows, so I grabbed some wheat from the chest and gave them a split second of freedom. And they didn't seem that interested. I guess they like being trapped in a hole. So I had to whip out the wheat in order for them to follow me. Yes, that's right. Keep following Papa right into your new home where you will be trapped. Suckers. Nah, I'm just playing. I'll treat them well this time. Just ignore this one cow I punched. That was just a one-time thing. And this one... Oh, I just punched him to death. Oh, no. I'll treat them well this time. All I had left of her was this raw beef. I ended up putting the fallen angel into an item frame for memory. Rip cow in the comments, guys. And the cow farmer is already looking pretty empty without her. But anyways, I made the same exact farm on the other side because for some odd reason I have an obsession for making everything symmetrical. I then gave my sheep and pigs some freedom right before leading them into their new prison, home. Talking about freedom, if you guys remember Gemma from the first 100 days, I trapped her into a 1x1 shed, and since we're on the topic of freedom, I decided to let her free. Gemma also had a nice quick swim right onto the diving board. Let's see what type of trick you have. And okay, next scene please. On day 111, I decided to start making the villagers a new home. They were kind of living in poverty. I then started expanding the island. A quick build montage away and this is what I got. I mean, it's not that much bigger from their original house, but I guess it looks a little better. I mean, yeah, poor villagers. But hey, come on, at least they can see the sunlight now. And on day 115, it was time to transport them. I made a bridge from their original house to their new home and slapped down a boat. But once I gave them an opening to freedom, all 3 of them tried running away. I was trying my best to contain them, but one got away. He broke out of prison. And after being stubborn and running around my entire island, I finally caught him with my boat. Yeah, sorry bro, you can't run forever. And now I got all 3 of my villagers inside the back of my cop car. Once I got them inside their holding cell, I placed down their beds. But once the beds were down, I didn't make my prison walls high enough, and we had 2 more escapees. So I quickly made the walls 1 block higher so this last villager could not escape. And it was another long, tedious process trying to get the villagers back into their pen. And once the villagers were back home, I ended off the day by breeding the sheep so I can have some more wool to make more beds. And I quickly realized we were running out of space for the villagers because I wanted to breed them like crazy. So on day 100 116 to 120, I started expanding the island even more to make their holding cell even bigger. Yeah, I'm just a good owner. And just like that, there is enough space to have at least 20 villagers in here. And in this empty space that I made, I had a plan to build them at least one house, so it doesn't feel like too much of a prison. So I gathered up all of my materials for the house and even went as far to make some bookshelves for them. Cause you know, books have knowledge and people in prison need to read as well. Here in my garage, knowledge. Please tell me you guys know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you're way too young. But anyways, I started working on their little house. And here's a quick building montage. I slapped down some bookshelves into their house to make it a little bit more cozy, and also went as far to make some flower pots to decorate the inside of their home. Then I slapped down 2 beds so the villagers can make some magic happen. In private too. I then finished the house off by building the roof. Once it was done, I slapped down some grass blocks in front of the window and added some flowers. And just like that, they have a nice cozy home in their prison cell. I mean, is it really a prison cell at this point? This is a 5-star hotel. On day 121, I harvested the wheat to breed my sheep for some new beds. While I wait for the baby sheep to grow up, I decided to finish off the day with some mining. And suddenly a pig spawned and I accidentally punched Douglas into the water. Oh no, this isn't good. I have to do something about it before he makes it to the top of the diving board and falls to his death. But I was just a little too lazy and continued mining. I'm sorry, Douglas. I did have 2 chickens spawn though. And I had some plans to make a KFC restaurant on my island. And after a little bit of more mining, I got another monster party. And this could be anything since I unlocked all of the phases. But luckily it was only the end monster party. So all I had to do was spam my bow and knock all of these endermite into the water off the diving board. This shulker also sent me pretty far up into the air. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of having fun floating. And once I landed and broke my ankles, I ran around the island killing all these endermen that also spawned from the monster party. And before the day came to an end, I checked up on the villagers and they did not have a baby yet. Come on guys, hurry up. On day 122, I have to fulfill my promise and make a KFC restaurant. But before I do that, I need to make a chicken farm. So that is exactly what I was working on. And this one chicken was already in the pen. He was ready to become KFC fried chicken. Finger licking good. Once I had the chicken farm built, it was time to collect all of the chickens around my island. And it seems like the chickens really like water because they were chilling inside the pool. So with Elite, I started dragging them one by one into their new home. You know, just interrupting their beautiful bath to throw them into their KFC production house. Having a life of a chicken sounds pretty great. Once they were all in there, I grabbed all of my eggs inside my chest and started chucking them like it's a snowball fight. And with all of the eggs I threw, I only managed to get 2. My luck is insane. So I simply grabbed some seeds inside my chest and started breeding them. I need at least 10 million chickens inside here. And for some reason, all of the chickens were staring at me like I'm their god or something. It was pretty funny. And now it was time to make the actual KFC restaurant. So I started expanding the island for it. And this is where I was going to put the KFC restaurant. It's just going to be a simple square, but trust me, the food is going to be so fire. But here's a quick building montage of me building the store. Once I was done with the outside, I built a wall to separate the kitchen and the store. And of course, I had to get attacked by flying phantoms. Oh, they're so annoying. I then put down some slabs to act as the front counter. And now I just had to focus on decorating the inside. I wanted to add some leaves, obviously, and add some chandelier lights. And what I used was some fences and some shroom lights. I finished off the windows with some glass panes and also added the menu. Popeye's fried chicken will be a low price of $10 and KFC chicken will be a low price of 50 cents. And now the kitchen. And you thought the bed is where the magic happens. No. The kitchen is where the magic happens. I slapped down a refrigerator, a bunch of blast furnaces to fry up some crispy chicken, and slapped down a sink. And there we go. The KFC restaurant is now complete. There's only one thing I'm missing. Say it with me, everybody. 3, 2, 1. Leaves, baby. Oh, everything looks so much better with leaves. I then made the KFC sign. I'm not the best at making letters on Minecraft, but I think it looks pretty decent. And it seems like the phantoms were pretty excited for the fried chicken. They were surrounding the store. But anyways, here's the finished product. Oh yeah, I can't wait to open the restaurant. Who wants to work here? I'm accepting applications in the comments. And now I was in a pretty big building mood. I just wanted to build random stuff. So right beside the KFC farm, I started working on a new platform that will be dedicated for a stone generator. And on my first 200 days on one block, I built an insane stone generator. It was huge. But this time I want to go a little bit more simple. So I decided to start working on a smaller size stone generator. I placed down the water that goes right over the hoppers I placed down. I then slapped down the lava buckets. But my brain is missing missing 3 chromosomes, and I forgot lava burns wood. I was about to set my whole island on fire. Yeah, pretty small brain of me. So I decided to switch out the wood with some blackstone. I placed down the lava and waited to see if the wood would burn. I had to make sure because if I left and came back, my entire island would probably be gone and burnt down to the floor. Well, I guess this one block doesn't really have a floor, so maybe burnt down to the sky. Alright, never mind. And while looking at the lava, it was bothering me because it wasn't symmetrical. So I had to do what was right and go to the nether and grab some more lava buckets. And luckily there was lava right underneath the nether portal, but there was no way to get down. So I made the most ghetto staircase all the way down to the lava. Once I got down, I saw piglins chasing me because I had no gold on. So I quickly got my lava and ran away. I made an even worse staircase back up. Now that my lava in my stone generator was basically symmetrical, it was time to start mining. But I didn't want the ugly cobblestone, so I needed a silk touch pickaxe. So I dedicated day 133 enchanting a whole bunch to try to get a silk touch. And this took quite a long time. But the good news is I did get a silk touch and spent the rest of the day mining stone. And I'm so lazy, I just took tape and taped down my left click button down. I couldn't be asked to hold it with my finger, man. That's too much energy wasted. And after an entire day of mining, I got a half double chest of stone. Now that is pretty good. If only I had a haste 2 beacon, I would have tore through that. But with all of this stone, I had a big project planned. I wanted to make a giant area for statues for my animals that was from the first 100 days series, like my mushroom cow and my parrot that died. I then started working on the pathway that will lead to all the statues. There we go. It doesn't look too bad, but you know what will make it look way better? I don't even have to say it, guys. Come on. The real Cookie Army fans would know. Just got to add that greenery. Once the pathway was complete, I wanted to make the statue area curve around this big platform thingy. I have no idea how to explain it, so you'll see in a second. And I got right into designing the curve. And this is the design I came up with. It's gonna stand pretty high, and these mobs are spawning all over. I basically just made a separate mob farm. And there we go, the statue area was complete. And my entire island looks pretty sick from here. But it's only gonna get better from here, because I still have a lot of stuff planned. And now I wanted to start working on the first statue. I just had to decide what. And after looking through some of my comments on my community posts, everybody wanted me to rebuild the mushroom cow. The cow that fed me through my first 100 days. So I started gathering up some materials. I realized I didn't have enough red terracotta, so I had to go mining really quickly to try to collect some more. Here we go, epic mining montage. And surprise, surprise, another monster party. Please don't be vexes. Please don't be vexes. Please don't be vexes. But it was only some angry honeybees. That's not too bad. I can handle them. Okay, I think that's enough. Okay. Why do more keep spawning? I was getting kind of nervous. It wouldn't stop spawning bees. This turned into a shooting range. I was just spamming my arrows into these honeybees. Anyways, back to mining. Once I thought I got enough terracotta, I had to stain it to red terracotta. Because, you know, a mushroom cow is red. I don't know why I said that. But hey, maybe you were colorblind and I finally let you know what color a mushroom cow is. The more you know. But anyways, I needed some poppies to make some red dye. So I built a little small dirt patch so I can start bone mealing the grass to grab some poppies. After literally hours watching the grass just grow, I finally started bone mealing the ground to grab some poppies. Some fast and satisfying jump cuts later, I got 21 poppies and turned all of the terracotta into red terracotta. Then spent the next 5 days trying to design and build a mushroom cow. I'm not good at pixel art at all, so I was kind of struggling here. I finally finished the legs and a bit of the torso, and now it's time to start working on the head, the hardest part. And after days of building, it was time for the big reveal. Made the scariest jump of my life, turned around, and there it is. What do you guys think, guys? It looks alright. The mushroom cow looks pretty fat though. It looks like he has a double chin. But hey, at least the legend mushroom cow was scaring away all of the phantoms. They were flying pretty high up in the air. They didn't want to come down to me. And I had to add one final touch. I placed on a sign saying 100 days mushroom cow that fed me. I then started getting attacked by phantoms. God, I hate phantoms, man. I almost popped the vein on my forehead right there. But anyways, on day 146, I was so amazed by the mushroom cow and how much work it took to build him and what this mushroom cow meant for me. I just spent the entire day staring at him. Without this mushroom cow, I wouldn't have survived the 100 days on one block. By the way, if you guys haven't seen that series, go check it out. It was a pretty banger series. The series has racked up more than 28 million views in total, so you guys should probably check it out. On day 147, I checked up on my sheep after breeding them like 18 million times and they were overcrowded. Exactly what I wanted. I need these guys for my beds. But before I killed them for their wool, I wanted to use looting 3. I have no idea if looting even works on wool, but you know what? Let's try it out. After enchanting my sword like 6 different times, I finally got looting 3. I then bred them one final time and killed the sheep for their wool. And then these phantoms started attacking me. I looked up and there was at least 10 of them in the sky. I was so mad, steam was about to come out of my ears, man, I swear. But anyways, I got 31 pieces of wool, turned it all into beds, and slapped it down for the villagers. This is gonna be a very long story of monkeys jumping on the bed. Is that the title of the story? I have no idea. I just remember loving that story. Maybe that's where my obsession of monkeys came from. Anyways, I harvested my carrots and threw them 6 stacks of carrots to eat. It's about to be a party up in here. And by nightfall, they already had 2 children. And me being annoying, I started pushing them around the bed. It just looked pretty funny. They were just sliding around the bed like it's ice. And then I started stomping on, yeah. Next scene. And in the morning, I threw them even more carrots. It's just that time of year. While I wait for them to breed, I decided to go mining again. I came back to check on the villagers the next day, and there was a mob of babies. I can't wait for all of them to grow up, and soon I'll be able to trade for some mending books and upgrade all of my tools and armor. So while I wait for all of the villagers to continue breeding, I started working on a bamboo farm because I'm gonna need a lot of sticks to trade for some emeralds. And I planted the 3 bamboo that I had. I then just AFK'd the whole day waiting for the bamboo to grow and waiting for the villagers to breed. On day 153, I was astonished on how many villagers were here. The population of villagers basically tripled, and also my bamboo grew. And now I have enough bamboo to expand the bamboo farm. Now since I have a ton of villagers, it's time to grind the bamboo for some sticks. On day 159, after grinding all of that bamboo, I ended up filling my entire inventory and all of the double chests with bamboo. I also ended up getting my first ever iron golem. Also, it seemed like all of the villagers have grown up, so it's time to start trading. I placed down all of my gravel and mined it until I got a whole bunch of flint. I also had a diamond shovel with fortune 2, so it was really quick. I then threw it all into a crafting table and made 14 fletching tables. Look how cute all of the villagers look sleeping together on one big comfy bed. On day 160, once all of the villagers were awake, I moved all of the beds and slapped down some fletching tables. And it seems like my prison always has a flaw to it. The villagers were jumping on top of the fletching table and getting away. I quickly broke all of the fletching tables and then went to go retrieve the escaped villagers. I found one of them, and instead of taking him back to his home, I decided to kill him because he was already on death row anyways for stealing too many carrots from his fellow villagers. And once all of them were fletchers, it was time to turn all of the bamboo into sticks. And this took a pretty long time. Does your finger ever hurt from crafting so many sticks? Because mine was hurting pretty bad. But anyways, the day was coming to an end, so I decided to sleep with the villagers. Bright and early on day 161, it was a special day because it was time to start trading with the villagers. You know, exchanging sticks for their emeralds. Pretty fair trade, I must say. But you guys wouldn't even believe how many sticks I had. But once I depleted my supply of sticks, I ended up getting 6 stacks of emeralds. What? That is insane. Now begins the quest to get a mending book. I broke down all of the fletching tables and replaced it with lanterns. Lanterns? What? Lecterns? What am I saying? The first librarian I checked, he was trading for a protection 3 book, which isn't too bad, but I'm looking for mending. However, the second librarian I checked, I got so lucky. I actually ended up getting the mending villager. I have no idea what the chances are of getting a mending villager, but I got him the second try. I was so excited because on my first 100 day series on one block, it took me so many days to try to get this mending villager. And I didn't want to lose this trade, so I traded for some bookshelves as fast as I could, broke it into books, and started trading for mending books. I just traded as many as I could, and I ended up trading for 9 mending books. Let's go. That's enough for all of my armor and tools, and 1 for extra. So on day 162, I combined all of the books with my tools and armor and went to my mob farm to gather some XP to repair all of my stuff. And by nightfall, everything was fully repaired. On day 163, since I have so many villagers, I think it's time to make an iron farm. Totally not because I'm so lazy and I don't want to mine for iron. Totally not that. What? So I started making a platform in the sky. And for this iron farm, I didn't want to make it the usual one where the iron golem falls into lava. I wanted to make an iron golem island. I wanted this island to be made fully out of iron blocks, and there would be like 100 iron golems just roaming around. But once I was done with the spawning platform, I placed down all of the beds so the 2 villagers that will live here could start breeding. So on day 168 to 169, what a hilarious number. Oh my god, I'm so childish. I dedicated these 2 days making a train track that would carry 2 villagers into the iron golem. Once I made the pathway, I made some rails and a minecart and finished off the railroad to freedom. And I will be randomly selecting 2 lucky villagers to be free from this prison and off to freedom. Nah, I'm just playing. They're going to a worse home. 2 of these villagers are going to a 3x3 square home. I mean, on the bright side, at least there's some beds, right? So it's comfy. But anyways, the first villager was an easy transport, but the second one was kind of tough. He weighed too much and he just kept pulling pulling the minecart all the way back down the track. But eventually I got him into his new home. And on day 170, I decided to watch them make some love. Also because I had nothing else to do. I just really wanted to see the first ever iron golem spawn. So I waited all day until the night. And guess what? I saw 2 baby villagers. And also got attacked by phantoms. Wow, these things get me mad. So while I wait for the first iron golem to spawn, I decided to do a little bit of mining. Cue the epic mining time lapse. And then I got a villager that spawned. I decided to let him free so he can join his long lost family. Once I closed the door, I had no idea where he went. I searched around my island and I couldn't even find him. So he either jumped off the island because he didn't like it here, or he actually reunited with his family. A mystery that will never be solved. But there were no signs of iron golems. I was getting kind of worried it wasn't gonna work. I thought maybe the iron golems around my island were interfering with the spawning rates. So I took out the iron golems around my base. Maybe that'll help. And the next day, while I wait even longer, I decided to do a little bit of work around my base. I collected all of my chicken eggs and threw them onto the ground. Got unlucky, so I decided to just breed them. I bred all of my cows, my girlfriends. By the way, if you guys haven't watched that video with my girlfriend in it, you should totally watch it. First link in the description. And also fed all of my sheep. I still haven't fed my pigs though. And after all of that work, guess what? The first ever iron golem spawned. Let's go. I was so excited to meet him that I had to bridge up, and I lit him up with my arrows. Poor guy. I should have kept him in a cage or something for memory. On day 175, there were way too many phantoms chasing me and in the sky. It was getting out of hand. Look at how many there are. Is this even natural? And with my poop aim, it makes it even worse because I can't hit them. But I'm done. It's time to make some changes around this island. So on day 176, I came up with a plan to make some defense towers to defend my island from all of these phantoms. So I grabbed some stone bricks, grabbed some snow blocks, and grabbed some pumpkins. I think you guys know where this is going. I wanted to make some defense towers all around my island in sections. I wanted to put these things in the corners and a couple in the middle. So I got to work designing the first ever defense tower on 1 block Minecraft. After some trial and errors with some designs, I came up with this. Just a pretty simple platform to allow my turrets to shoot the phantoms. I then placed down my first ever island defense. Meet Snowman number 1, Lieutenant Richard. How did I come up with that? That is so random. But he looked at me and he was ready for duty. I said duty. After some time, I built all 5 defense towers and it was nighttime. It is time to put these defense towers to the test. And it seemed like it was working. The phantoms were too scared to even fly down to me. But once they did, a snowman would shoot their snowballs at the phantoms, kicking them off track and flying away from me. It was working, guys. And by 179, I finished the other side. And my entire island looks pretty sick. There was a total of 9 turrets guarding the base. Now nothing is getting inside. On day 179, I was realizing that my chest room was a little bit too small. Not because I have too many items, but because my belly just wouldn't fit in the chest room. I need to exercise, man. But anyways, I decided not to move it away from the original location and just bring it down to like a basement type of design thingy. So I broke down the floor and replaced it with stairs leading to a basement. And yeah, this was a really boring build. I was just building staircases down. I'm sure you guys don't want to watch that. So with that being said, I'm gonna force you to watch it so you guys can suffer with me. Cue the boring and slow time lapse. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm sure like 30% of you guys clicked off the video already. But this is what I got so far. It's just a little room with 3 walls. Pretty exciting stuff if you ask me. Now, I didn't want to make it too fancy. I just wanted a bigger chest room, but not too big. And then started filling up the chest room with some chests. I also didn't like the ceiling design, so I replaced the wood with stone brick. I also added a ceiling light right in the middle of the chest room. Now for the more exciting part. Moving all of my stuff from the old chests into the new chests. Let's get an epic montage of it. Oh, my videos are so weird. Why do people watch these? Thank you so much for watching though. I appreciate it. But now it's time to decorate it a little bit. So I added some leaves on the sides of the wall right beside the stair and I started becoming a rap god. I also added a lantern on both sides for a nice little touch. And there's my brand new chest room. And on day 185, after placing those leaves on my chest room, I had the greatest idea ever. Why hasn't anybody told me this? I thought of making a leaf only island. That sounds like my dream come true. So I started making a pathway to the island of dreams. And you guys know me. I had to make the pathway a little fancy and added a leaf arc over the pathway. It looked pretty good, but once I thickened it up and added more leaves, the arc looked even better. And I wanted to make the floor all leaves. So to start, I made a platform of spruce slabs and filled it all up. And I knew I didn't have enough leaves to cover the entire platform. So to solve that problem, I planted some trees and sheared the leaves. I've never been so happy in my life. If you guys also use leaves in your builds because of my videos, you should definitely tag me on Twitter with your builds and I'll reply right right back. But once I got enough, I covered the entire platform with leaves, and it looks pretty great so far. And I add some final touches by throwing some trees around. Oh yeah, the island looks pretty awesome. Now on day 191, I decided it would be much better if the leaf island was somebody's home. And I thought my dogs would fit perfectly on this island. And once they got there, it seemed like they were enjoying their new home. I also fed them steak for the first time ever, and they finally bred to have a baby wolf. Now that they have a huge home, it's time to make an army of wolves. I think that would be my main goal for day 300, to breed at least 100 dogs. Oh man, that's gonna be crazy. And after all of that building, I literally used up all of my stone. So I spent the next 2 days mining to get my stone back, because I had one final project to end off this 200 days. Once I got enough stone, I turned it on to stone bricks, and it's time to start the project. My plan was to make a giant castle behind this mushroom cow and all of the statues that are yet to come. And this is gonna be a really hard build, because building these giant pillars are gonna be hard. But here's a quick and epic building time lapse. This is what I came up with so far, and it looks like it's fire coming from these stone pots. I was debating on leaving it just like this, but I really wanted to make a huge castle, so I kept on working. And unfortunately, I only had time to make 2 pillars. An entire castle would just take too many days. But if you guys are interested in seeing the entire castle fully built, stay tuned for day 300. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And if you guys want to see another awesome video and meet my girlfriend, check out my latest video. I got my girlfriend to beat Minecraft. It'll be the first link in the description below. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.